After a busy week, I finally have some free time again. After declining my roommate's invitation to go shopping, I was going to go back and check on the progress of the room. Rachel had vocally given me the keys to my house earlier in front of a reporter, and it came in handy. Upon opening the door, the house was quiet with the rare absence of children's noises. There was a noise coming from the master bedroom room, and I walked over to it silently. Paul stood in front of Rachel and spoke in a strong tone. I told you before to stop looking for her. So many years have passed, the child has grown up. Even if you find her, what's the use? Where will she remember us well? Look, now it's turned into this selfish and egotistical person as soon as she comes back. She makes a mess in the house, even robbing his brother's room, and you expect her to be filial to you in the future? Rachel sat on the bed and moved her lips, unable to say a word. Paul sighed and started to be soft again. Rachel, the most important thing is Julian. Don't you love him? He's a boy, he'll get married and have a car and a house. Where does he need money? Don't you have to think about him? Rachel, also agitated, retorted, I know, how could I not hurt Julian? Rachel, said Paul, finally voicing his ultimate purpose. But this house is written in the name of Jane, you are her real mother, she can still not listen to you. You coax her, let her transfer the house to our name, she is a girl, ultimately to be married out, put us here to feel more at ease. A struggle flashed across Rachel's face before she finally nodded and said, good. Without waiting for Rachel to oblige, I pushed my way in, my face as grim as ink, and sneered. You've got quite a face, you've lived in my house all these years, you've eaten and used my father's compensation. I'm telling you, this house was left to me by my father, no one is going to take it away from me. Rachel was dumbfounded. Jane, you remember? I mocked as I tried to suppress the anger that was welling up in me. What? Are you surprised? Of course I remember everything, even how I got lost back then. I paused, looking at Paul's panicked expression and purposely didn't continue, snorting, it's mine, and I'm getting it all back. As soon as my voice dropped, I took it in stride. Jane, Jane. Don't get me wrong, you Mr. Kelly didn't mean that, his heart is good. Rachel panted after him, her eyes pleading. I just shook off her hand indifferently and said sharply, he's a good person? Then it was for my own good that he deliberately abandoned me by the river back then? I took a step closer, pressing Rachel to look straight at me and reveal her hidden secrets. Back then Paul didn't like me at all. That day he actually said he wanted to take me out to play. One person brought me to the river and turned his head and lost me. Didn't you have the slightest suspicion in your heart? A few moments of avoidance and unease flashed across Rachel's face, and my heart went cold by the inch. But I still wouldn't let go of the road. You really don't know, or you don't want to know?